Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're going to talk about something that makes me very, very happy, maybe makes me laugh, doesn't tick me off, but maybe terrifies me a little bit. Does that count? We're talking about Blarney Castle in Ireland, right outside of Cork City. These particular pictures were taken from a trip in 2011. That one was a wild trip. I was a mad woman. I was there for a conference in Cork and did some serious crazy travel. And Blarney Castle was one of them. This is only going to be one parter, though, rather one part of two, because the castle part is a gazillion pictures and the gardens part are gazillion pictures. Each of them are incredibly impressive. Hello, thank you for coming in. It is Sultan Al Fahim and everyone coming in the replay and watching and will be coming soon. Please, pretty please, smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe early and often. This is something really, really close to my heart. This is fun. The first time I visited this castle, I was 7. We have it on video. I've got to get these things transferred on our old VCRs. That was back when having a video camera made you a god. It was big, it was clunky. Like you had to hold the camera and then hold like basically an entire VCR on this sling thing and that my mom or my dad would carry around. It was insane. And the fact that my father carried that thing up the castle is amazing. Have you ever been to Blarney Castle? Do you have castles where you live? Do you wish you had a castle? Please let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Sultan Al Fame says, Teresa is the castle conqueror. Why, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Let me see here. Thank you for everyone popping in. I am keeping my eyeballs on. Hey, it is the return of the Jacob Ironside. Jacob Ironside, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. We survived the ice storm. It sucked a lot more for you than it did for me. Yes, it did, Precious. Yes, it did. On the other hand, here we are, survivors. We had two days of ice. And we thought it was going to kill us. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Let me, you know what? I need to put this in my banner. Let me see if I can find it. I have here. Have you been to Iceland? That was from my last Teresa Travels. Have you been to Blarney Castle? Save. I'm going to try to break these up because I have so many more disproportionate things on Ireland as opposed to some of the other countries I visited. And let me see. Maybe next time I'll do Chester. I was in Chester for a while, right outside of Manchester, not to be confused with Manchester. Great city. We do have castles, but they look different. Yes, different architecture, different era. And you're going to see there's a reason why the castles you see in Ireland are the way that they are. Chrysanth, hello. It's another little flower. Hello. Hi, y'all. At work, so I can't stay, but watch you replay later. Thank you very much. Great to see you here. It is Meteor Advocate Timon Flip. Thank you for being here. Hey, yo, Teresa. Hello. It is America's Ass, JT Gunn. Thank you for being here. Everyone's saying hi and loving each other. Have you been to Blarney Castle or Ireland for that matter? But particularly Blarney Castle, which is what we're going to talk about today. Let's just jump into this because there is a lot of pictures. There is a lot of pictures. There are a lot of pictures. Let's orient ourselves. We're in Ireland, right across the pond. Oh, hello, Keely Chow. You can see Dublin is there because Dublin is the capital of Ireland. That's why you see it. In the south, right there, see that big red thing? That is where Blarney Castle it is, and it is right outside of the most magnificent city of the planet on the banks of my own lovely Lee, Cork. Also in County Cork. County Cork is humongous, But here it is. This is Cork City. Yay! I lived right here. Cork Airport's there. If you want to fly directly into Cork, you need to go to either Manchester or London. You can't just come directly into Cork. Another way to do it is fly into Dublin and take the train down. That's what I usually do. Unless there's a reason why I really just need to get directly to Cork as fast as I can. So you're minding your own business in Cork. You take this street. This is right by Shandon. Blarney. It says Blarney Woolen Mills. Blarney Woolen Mills is actually the name of a store there. And it's what it sounds like. Blarney Woolen Mills. You'll get a lot of wool, a lot of Aran sweaters, Aran things. Amazing. But this is where we are located in the south of Ireland in Cork City. Did I get everyone coming in? Yes, everyone's saying hello. People left when I started talking about Cork. How dare you? Now, that's cool. I know that some of you already said that you were just going to come in and say hi. Look at that castle. Look at that castle. To get this is just inside the grounds after you pay to get in, and you can see the path. This beautiful view of the castle. It was a beautiful day too. Don't be fooled. This is not common for Ireland, even in the summer. You get a nice sunny day like that. It is amazing. I'm going to say some details about it in a second. Let's see. Cork next to bottle. Yeah. No, in Irish it is corkig. In the River Lee is what comes through it. Cork was founded around the Vikings. The Vikings were the ones that kind of got it going. There was a monastery, which is now where St. Finbarr's Cathedral stands. Because the Vikings came in on the River Lee, they figured out you go to those monasteries. They got tons of gold and stuff. Some of them stayed. They built up a little city around there. That's a video for another time. Meteor Advocate says, I can't look at the castles, too many trees. Is that a joke? I think, or maybe, I think that's what you're saying. This is the main part of the castle, but it's not the entire castle, as you will see as we get closer. So here we go. Boom! How's that for a view? Check it out. I love it. This is the tower part of the castle. Main part. This is what's called a tower castle. Built straight into this rock down here. They have the high ground. You can see all the various windows. We're going to go into details about what these are. Little holes here. Gosh, I love it. I have some information here about Blarney Castle. Let me grab it. Blarney Castle was built a long time ago. In 1446, though there were earlier ones there. It's from the branch of the Kings of Desmond, and it, let me see, from the McCarthy family. They were the ones that controlled it the most. Sorry. The castle originally dates before 1200, when a timber house was believed to have been built on the site. Around 1210, this was replaced by a stone fortification. It was destroyed in 1446, but subsequently rebuilt by Cormac Ladair McCarthy, Lord of Musgrave, who also built castles at Kilcrea and other things. So, just to give you an idea, we're looking at something that is approximately 600 years old. It is a, do they say what kind of a castle it is? These bastards. It's a tower. I believe it's called a tower castle. Um, yes, I will talk about the Blarney stone. In Irish, it is Cashlán na Blarnon. Cashlán means castle. Monasteries were like McDonald's to Vikings. Yes, they were. It looks like it suffered by cannons. It was sieged. It was. That's a got to get some Irish history there. Fire the groundskeeper. There's a story. Some of it's also just downright falling apart. I wanted to zoom in here. This is that big ass window thing you see. It is got a very fancy word in French. It's machicolis. I pronounced that like Latin. Oh my gosh. Please don't kill me, French people. In English, we call it a machicolation, which is an opening between supporting corbels of a battlement through which stones or other material, such as boiling water, hot sand, or boiling cooking oil, could be dropped on. Though this one, actually, don't quote me on this. This one actually may not be that. This is a window. It's like a little balcony area inside one of the houses. If I made a mistake, remember I am a historian, not an architect. This little hole here, that comes from the garderobe. Basically medieval toilet. This this fancy room here to which this is connected was like the laird's place, lord's place. Actually, laird though, that's totally Scottish, so please forgive me. And yeah, you go over there, you take a, you know what, and it would just come flying out. Yeah, I think I did make an architectural mistake. 1446. Thank you. Teresa is hiding the maidens in the castle. Oh dear. There is a ladies' room in there. The closest thing to Castle of Texas are Spanish missions. You are correct, including the United States. Better needs a makeover. Yeah. And just to give you some perspective, you see here, this is this little balcony area, and then here is this. Next shot. I love this. I love this. We're at the ground level here. This is precisely what it looks like. It's a doggy kennel. So you're minding your own business. You're approaching the castle. This was a guard house. The guards would hang out here. And then the doggies were in here, the big guard dogs. I just think it's so badass that this stuff is so intact. To the left, this leads down toward the dungeon. So maybe it was convenient it was right next door. You can go inside the dungeon. It is incredibly unpleasant, dark, wet, and miserable, as a dungeon should be. But you're not going to see any pictures that I took inside there because it's really boring. It's dark. The hounds. Yes, the hounds. Gosh darn it, I need to do some more like historical stuff on this. It's just it was just so normal to me. I never studied it the way maybe I should have. I don't know. It's just a place you would go. We used to, as kids, we used to run around this thing. We could have died so easily. Jacob Ironside says guard dogs would come out and tear you apart. Darn right. All right. So keep walking up the path. Oh, this is inside this tower. You see that these were connected and part of some of the outer walls and other areas of the castle, but they just didn't survive. This is the entrance thing here. Often they would be kind of up high like this, so as a matter of protection, you could climb up in there and pull in a ladder and be safe. Oh, this has an entrance here. I'm not sure what that's all about. Some of these, I suspect, came later, especially as tourism happened. And this is what it looks like inside. You can see where these holes are, where it was where different floors would be. JT Gunn says, I am more of a USA Castle man, but I will continue listening because I like you. If you know any American castle, we don't have any equivalent to this because things like this could only be made in Ireland, in their locality. So there we are. Giving you a better shot that tower thing we were just looking at is here, and behind is the main portion of the castle. You can see the walls. Another view. Go up there. Yay, see if there's any bad people coming. Yeah, this here was that blah, 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 blah French word. And another view. Badass. Been a while since I've been there. I think the last time I was at Blarney Castle was nearly 10 years ago, maybe about 9 years ago. 2013. Please note, this goes along with going inside the dungeon and other things. If you pass beyond this point, you are on a premises. It has what Occupiers Liability Act of 1995. It says, Blarney Castle Estate hereby acknowledged by virtue of the nature and age of the castle that some dangers do exist, and accordingly do not accept responsibility for loss, damage, or personal injury caused by visiting the castle. It is essential that the castle maintains its authenticity. Warning, all these things. So what they're saying is, if you die, it's your fault. That this castle, because of its historical nature, has not and will not be updated. So you assume your own risk. They are hiding the goal. Yeah. Something to note. Just like nature, these kind of buildings must be respected. You need to be very careful. Blarney Castle is probably one of the safest ones I've been to. You will find some of these out in the middle of County Kerry and Clare. They give 0 Fs. Like, I was in a castle there that we found in the middle of the field. We just went over and climbed in. I went up some steps, and there was a room and a big hole. So if you keep walking, you would literally fall down, like in a Skyrim or something. Always look where you're going. Hello, everyone coming in. So great to see you all. Yay. All right, this is the entrance area. I think there's a sign, but I'm not going to read it. The way to the tower, I think is what it says. No, the way to the stone. All right, that's stupid tourism crap. Who cares about the stone? You're going to see it in a bit, and it sounds like it's just no big deal. I think it is a way to keep those darn tourists moving so you don't clam up. If you can, do not go to Ireland in the summer when all the tourists are there. Try to go your spring break. Try to go in the winter even. If you're worried about the weather, you know what? The weather's usually shite anyway, so who cares? Here, the entrance on the lower area. Sultan says, look at you, adventurous, Teresa. Oh gosh, I'm a crazy woman. Yeah. Well, I was so stupid. I didn't realize how cool everything was. We had something like this in the back of our house. It's like, what the hell? It's like, oh, everyone else doesn't get to go play in ruins and castles. But you're a dumb kid and you don't care. It's like, I appreciate it now. This is the murder hole that is right underneath where we are. So here we are in the entrance. There's up here something called a murder hole. So if I happened to breach the area, this is where they would pour hot oil and stones. There's a lots of little places you can do that, but this is one particular. It's called the murder hole for a reason. And right here we are in the entrance. I have issues with a few things, and let me point that out. One, see these guardrails here? See these stairs here? Not part of the original, and these were not there for most of my life. I don't know when these were put in, and I blame the EU probably. Really ticks me off. I will admit it makes it safer, but still. To get to the next portion was a little tricky, but suck it up, people. Suck it up. This was the very lower area where they would have animals and servants, maybe peasants, just sleeping on the straw. One level. And where these stairs go up here, see that's still part of the normal first level. That's a fireplace. That's the next floor. So there should have been a ceiling here. This is the very bottom. Hello, Zax. We are looking at Blarney Castle. You missed the murder hole. But that's okay. You're going to see a few more. See, look, there's a better shot. There should have been a floor here. Here's the fireplace. Here are some windows. This was a sitting area. Underneath animals and things, this here. Must admit, even though I'm judging that extra staircase they put in, it allowed me to get a better shot. I've never been able to get this shot before. Jacob says, JT Gunn, do you know what basketball knows it? Oh, okay. That's a joke about basketball, I think I missed. Sultan says it looks like you could fall. Oh, yeah. Hell yes. That's why they had that notice. Basically, go in at your own risk. And it has to be like that. What frightens me and still frightens me is the fact that as kids, we were running around this without even some of these safe holds. We could have died. And no one gave a frack in the 80s. They just let the kids run loose. Oh, this is inside one of the bedrooms. This might be the one I was just showing you that I was mistaken at first from the outside. You can see the 3 little windows. Windows would be narrow. One, you freeze to death. You didn't want to get the wind in. Also for safety, and you could put like bow and arrow things in here too. These lights were not there when I see. The last time I visited Blarney Castle before this was 1994. This was not here in 1994. We've got an Australian in the house. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Well, yes, I am, Sam. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Always good to see everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe. And talk castles. That's what we're doing. Hey, this is a view looking out that window. That's the tower we looked at. And this was that building that was kind of half messed up. This is what I mean when I say this castle was much bigger. Much bigger. Now, my best friend's boyfriend had a small tower castle in his backyard and no safeties. It's like you could go and like sleep there, like have a sleepover. Let's have a sleepover in the castle and build a little fire. Oh gosh, good times. But no, you can't do that at this one for obvious reasons. I'm judging all these signs telling you where the Blarney Stone is. Crying out loud. Some of these scratchings are not from medieval times. This is from tourists all the way back a few hundred years ago. You will see some idiot saying Seamus was here and the date 1789 or something. They actually, that's how long people would scrape things in here. No respect. To the little garderobe. Yay. Little passages off this main staircase. It's basically a hole in a little bench, which for the Middle Ages was very sanitary. You just don't want to be underneath where it all comes out. You can see above they have it in Irish. Cún an garderobe bis. I think it's saying I can't read the letters. That's my problem. Basically says to the garderobe, obviously. Look who's here. There is an elf in the house. There is an elf in the house. Hi, everyone. Just dropped in to leave a like at work. We'll catch the replay. Good journey. Thank you. Thank you. This is where Teresa talks down to the peasants. I know. Snob alert. Snob alert. It just is what it is. Wait till I talk about classical music. That's where everyone hates my guts. All right, inside area. Another area you can see here where another floor was. So we went through to the garderobe. Here was the room, and there's a room above. Here's some dork who did some graffiti back in the day. Can't read the... yes. Yes. This is where cool pics. Why, thank you, Corey, and thank you for being here. Always great to see you. And same Luffy's God. Garderobe means wardrobe in Norwegian. Yes. That's what it translates to. And it can refer to a private room, but usually it's a toilet in this case. It means, in the context, if you see garderobe, it's where you take it. Well, means wardrobe in French too, I believe. Yes. They do have some safety features, as you can see, these bars. Castles out in the middle of nowhere will not have these. That's why you've got to be careful. Don't be idiots. Respect the architecture. Young lady's bedroom. Yay! There's something of note up here. I will have a better look, but a better picture. But look how this goes up to a little peak. The reason is this is the room for the priest. They had a priest in the house. And when you get closer, you'll see that there's a little stone altar for his private masses. That's why it is pointed like that. Genevieve, hello. Are there any ghosts there? I hope not. Never go near these things at night. Well, you can't at Blarney Castle. You can at many others. Don't do it. I don't believe in ghosts until I go to Ireland. I swear, you step foot in Ireland and you are afraid of ghosts and fairies. I don't give a crap about fairies until I step a foot in Ireland. It's insane. Steve Ransom dropping some flowers on my lunch break chat. Oh, hello. Thank you for being here. Always great to see you. This is another view. I think this is this is the window again. Narrow to keep out the wind, and also you could put an arrow through there to defend. Little hallway off this area. There's a few steps down, and you're going to go across a few steps up to the next area. So much fun. Little passages. Here we are. See that little window area and the little stone thing there where the priest would have his private masses. When you come out, you will come to a big, large dining area. Obviously, this will not be open to the would not have been open to the elements at the time. That's where you can see the roof was. I've seen art where artists have recreated what it would have looked like. Is this where they do the Blarney Stone competition? No, but it is where you're going to see the Blarney Stone. You encounter some fairies? No, but that's the point. You avoid them. You stay away from those fairies. True story. They were wanting to build a motorway around where there was a fairy fort, and everyone threw up such a hissy fit. They like made the road go around the fairy fort. Even today, you don't mess with a fairy fort. Oh, not even gonna say it. You have some awesome photos. Why, thank you. If you'll remember from Once Upon a Fan, Genevieve, when I wrote the essay about fairies, I showed some fairy forts. Gonna go to the next picture. They were doing some excavating of some wall art that they found. You can see here and here. It was scraped in, it looks like. Get a bit of a closer look. Look at that, all the swirls. I heard, you're trying to get me demonetized before I'm monetized. Stop it. Are there some places in Ireland that won't even mention? Yes. Okay, first of all over Ireland, don't do it. I don't do it, and then I accidentally did because I've told the story 1,000 times if you haven't heard it. I was on a bus tour about 2019. It was 2019 because it was right before COVID. I take bus tours because I don't drive in Ireland, and when I'm there all by myself, there's a place in Cork that has some really good ones. There's some little boy from Asia or something, and we were yapping on the bus. We had some fairy forts, and I was like, "Yeah, fairies, blah blah blah, and then this and this, and they have beliefs. You got to make sure not to say fairy." And I'm sitting there saying the word fairy like in a friggin' Egypt, and the bus driver was right in front of me, and I saw his head just kept cocking, and then I just stopped and I looked at him. I go, and he looks at me, and I go, "I'm not supposed to say it, am I?" And he said, "We don't say the word. No, not about the good people." And I'm like, and this boy I was with, he was like, "What's going on here?" And I said, "You just don't say them. You don't say the name. You respect them. You respect them. Thank you. Thank you very much." Yes. it's it's crazy. All right, so you go out there and now there's more stairs up to the next part. You see why it's built the way it is? It's first of all huge. Second of all, very protective. It's very safe in there. Well, that's another view of the altar. Remember when I showed that pointy window? So I'm right outside this room. Obviously, we can't go inside or else we would die. Well, we just fall down beneath. Thank you, Zach. Like I said, I appreciate it. To the kitchen. I'm sorry, rather the kitchen. The kitchen was inside the castle, which was wild to me. Quite often, they try not to do that, but I suppose if you're looking at safety issues, they needed to. It was at the very top of the tower, and there was a big old chimney mhm, to make sure it was very airy. So this was a very airy area. Ah, and up through here, you can see that there were steps going up to where the the eating place we were. When I was a kid, and even as late as 1994, this was not here. This chain. They're holding some people's hands nowadays. This is not the most dangerous. You'll see. But they didn't want people going through this area. Also, it helped with traffic. Meteor advocate. Okay, fair. You can say fairies as much as you like. You're in Brazil and in America. I will say fairies. But I triple dog dare you to say it out loud in Dingle. See what happens. It'll be like that scene on Airplane. Everyone gets in line and starts beating the crap out of you. Google it though. Google it and look it up where like Ferry Fort and a highway. Biggles Met says, I am not a castle, but I am still pretty cool. True. Zach says, I wonder what they call the boat or raft that carries you across a river or a body of water. Ha 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 ha. Well, technically, it's spelled Ferry. So that's okay. But now that I'm thinking about it, what is ferry in Irish? So what's the actual language? Not in Spanish, in Irish. Sheog. There you are. Ha ha ha. Did you say dingle? Oh. No, I said dingle sheog. Wait, sheog. Oh my gosh. The fada was on the O. Sheog. Sheog. That kid looks like he has a ghost beside him. There you go. You heard it here first. If I ever go to Ireland, I'll make a video doing it. Hey, I'll watch you get the crap beaten out of you. A barge, probably. No, I mean, they call it a ferry. You can tell by context. Don't yell ferry in Irish. Oh, well, nowadays you also might get in trouble for another reason. Yeah. Eddie Murphy, back when he used to say jokes about gay men that I did disapprove of at the time, it was bad. He said, what y'all got to remember is that gay men are still men. Yeah, they'll kick your ass. Here's the view. Here's the view. Remember, I said that there was more to the castle and everything. Look, all this area. This was protection, and they were different buildings. It has since fallen apart. Luffy's God says, don't Google fairies. Check out Balor. Ireland has cool myths. Yes. Another one which was cool was the legend of Tir na Nog, Oisin and Tir na Nog. Gosh, you don't want those fairies to come and kidnap you. They used to have stories about that. Don't get kidnapped by a fairy. Biggle said, I wanted a gay guy beat up a dude and wanted him. Oh, okay. Well, I'm surprised you watch. I'm surprised you're still alive. Frankly, Biggles. For one thing, I will judge you now because Christmas is completely over. If this was before February 2nd, I might have forgiven you. But after the presentation, you can't even fake Christmas. Look at this. Why, what is that, Teresa? Well, this is the big old chapel area. This is looking down into it. That's the floor. I got a better view of it. I didn't call him when I was just there. Oh, I know. Yeah, get a new image. LOL. Yeah, there's a bit of a story about the whole ground. Never mind. February 2nd is Feast of the Presentation. Hey! I told you about the Blarney Stone. That's why all these people are gathered around. Here, you do go one way. The only portions that are kind of safe are these little battlement areas. These rails were there when I was a kid. Okay, they weren't crazy about that. They weren't that crazy. Again, the chapel. If you're wondering if something's a chapel, you find the pointy part. The family chapel. Everyone's saying hi. Hi, hello there. All right. So you can get an idea, and this is that big fancy French word. They would drop things through here as a defense. Those bars were there when I was a kid. It's like little holes. So if you see where we're walking, frack. Okay, to the right, there's and to the left of where sorry, to the right of where I am and to the left over here, those are all along each of these areas. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, and the Blarney stone is where one is. See this little man? You'll see him a little closer. When I lived in Ireland, though, a kid tragically did die here. He fell through. So don't mess around. Little people can fall through there. Actually, don't take a kid up there. Do not take children. I know my parents did, and all our parents were completely guilty of it, and it's a miracle we're alive. Who likes French words? I do. Did you kiss the Blarney Stone? From a certain point of view. When I was a little girl, I mostly kissed it. When I was 7, when I was too stupid. I made a noble attempt when I was in college once when I was back there. This is on video. Gosh, I wish I could show y'all. Uh, and I get out there and he's like, "You gotta climb down." I'm like, and I go, "No way." I said, "You got me out this far. I'm not going down any further." So I just got out of there. Hi, hi. Murder holes. Yes, darn right. Oh, yeah, you missed the murder hole. Yeah. These were defensive things. So you drop hot oil, rocks, all sorts of things down there for the people that were doing the siege. These are death traps. It's very fascinating. Care Castle's another castle I'm going to do. That's probably the second best castle in Ireland. Maybe one could argue the best, where you really see how there's every different level. Think of the two towers, Helm's Deep. You know how that worked. That's how these were put together. Luffy's God says 70s and 80s was different. They didn't have all these safety measures. Played in World War II bunkers inside a mountain when we were young. They were blocked up now. That is badass. That is awesome. I've heard some stories from Stieg about that too. You know? It's like, yeah, there might be some live ammunition. All right. Here's another view. I'm standing almost by the Blarney Stone. To give some perspective. It's like 3 stories. Don't play around in here. And here is the big family chapel. The other one that was the private one for the priest. This is the big one. This is looking down. It's far. That is the area where the banquet hall was. Here's the Blarney Stone. There's always some Irish man sitting there kind of holding on to you to make sure, I guess, you don't kill yourself. And there's a blanket. I am very happy that it's still a dingy looking, crummy blanket. Lovely. This is somebody's buttocks. What you do is you have to sit there. You lean back over this gap where there's 2 little bars. See, the man has his little feet on there. They have these bars here, one on one side, one on the other, and as you're upside down, you shimmy down backwards, and it's about 3 feet, 2 feet to kiss this friggin' stone, which is right hanging out in space. Do you see now why when I as a grown up said, "No way." No way. You're not gonna make me do it. You're not gonna make me do it. My sister never even tried, even as a kid. So if you think, "Woohoo, I'm just gonna go kiss a Blarney Stone," this is what you have to do. Do I have a picture of someone actually kissing it? No. I think for privacy reasons, you don't wanna do that, but yeah, it's as creepy as it looks. Oh gosh, I'm almost getting vertigo just thinking about it. And it's a myth anyways. All right. This is the chapel area. You see the altar. That was back when Mass was celebrated ad orientem. Frankly, lots of places still do it ad orientem. You don't have to do it the other way. You don't have to do it ad populis. Here is the side area. That's like where you keep the chalice and the oils and things. If you ever see Mass, the priest will go to the side and they'll get things. The altar boys will pour water and all that. So that's what this was here. Then here is where it would be celebrated. And then the peeps would be not hanging out in space. They would be the congregants. I'm surprised they allow people to do that. Well, remember that whole sign about if you die, it's your dumb fault? Yeah. It's just got such historical significance, and it is the law. And by posting that, you agree to liability. No way in hell. Oh, here's a sign telling you about the kitchen, looking down into it. Oh, remember those towers that I was showing you? This is how it looks from the very top looking down. Look how lovely it is. I love this. I love Ireland. True story. Kids, we're all going to meet in Dublin, and I will be your tour guide. Because you don't want to go to those stupid tourist traps. I mean, Blarney Castle is basically a tourist trap. Blarney Castle is one of the few tourist traps I will stomach because it is so amazing and so intact. Meet in Dublin, we drive around, we'll go to the right places. Nice view. Yes, it is, Genevieve. I mean, it's gorgeous. And there's shrines everywhere. You can't walk 3 feet without stumbling on a shrine. Even though Ireland is in many ways lost their minds, remember a lot of that is Dublin and some of it is EU things, right? Especially out in the country. Oh, just the devotion is just still so gorgeous. No, let me correct myself. Even in the city, because when I was at not St. Patrick's Street, in Dublin on what was the name of that street? Dagnabbit. The one by St. Stephen's Park. There is a Carmelite monastery where they do daily mass. It's like right in the middle. It was packed. It was still packed. I think let's just say people, they're visitors. That's kind of been changing some of the devotion. Look how gorgeous this country is, for fuck's sake. Look at it. I was so lucky that the weather was this nice. You can't always see it this well. Look at those hills. Oh, frack. That's not the right one. Go back. Thank you. There it is. It's true about Ireland being green because it rains all the time. Genevieve says, I would imagine to watch the sunrise or sunsets from that spot. Oh, yeah. Sadly, because of Blarney Castle being the way it is, you can't, but you can from others. When I do Cork City, the best city on the planet, there's a great place called Shannon Tower, which you can also see. This really makes me want to go back. And Genevieve, they have gorgeous swans. They have swans over there everywhere, particularly around the Care Castle. Another view, this is from the other perspective. I'm about ready to leave. You can see the altar here. People looking for the Blarney Stone. Wow. Yeah. Oh. Well, I was about ready to say a line from a poem thing, but I'm not, because then I'm going to start crying and it's not going to happen. It's wonderful. Yes. Yes. Another view. There were some really awesome things in Dublin City. But man, as much as we can, get your butt out of Dublin City and get out to this area of Ireland. Cork City is actually a city, but it's not even as close to as big. Here's a view looking down. Now, this is where they wouldn't allow us to go. It's blocked off. It used to be, I was just like, I can't stand all these people, so I'd sneak down here and then sneak down some stairs. They won't let you do that anymore. I guess it does look a little precarious, but come on. Come on, kids. It's not that bad. Ah, I love this picture. You can see that how these narrow windows and the towers right through it. Zach says, I was surprised to learn that cork wood is from Portugal. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, I was jealous of you when you were in Portugal. Ah, check this out. Here's the stairs. This handrail was there when I was a kid. However, even today, it's not easy. That's the only thing you get. These are very narrow and they twist up. They very deliberately would always cork up in that direction so that if you were defending and let's just say I'm me coming up, yay, I'm going to conquer you. If I tried to swing with my right arm with the sword, I would hit the stone. But if I was defending down, you can see they could slice me. And well, how do we all know they were right-handed? Well, obviously people weren't always right-handed, but it really was the belief until even the 20th century everywhere, but particularly in Europe, that like left-handedness was bad, and so they would like beat it beat it out of you. It's like suck it up, use your right hand. And so lefties would learn to do that. And I guess technically that would make them ambidextrous. I assumed it was from Cork. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. It's fun, isn't it? Now, cork, understand, is the English word. It's corkig. Let me double check. Only because I don't want to sound really ignorant. Okay, I am correct. It was not, it's not from Cork, because Corkig comes from the word meaning marsh. And we just, anglicized it to Cork. Here is the view also up. Every time you see these, assume that there's a floor. That's gone. Bye-bye. Oh, check that out. That's another view of one of those other towers that kind of doesn't work anymore, but look at it. You can just imagine. Just imagine. Lookout guards. Alrighty, and we have now left the castle. Any other photos you would have seen would have been me coming just down the stairs, which isn't very exciting. And it's also not very safe. If you want to kill yourself, go ahead. Try to take pictures on that staircase. It is as steep as it looks. That's also a reason why they got really fussy with some of the one-way traffic. It used to be two-way. And imagine you're trying to go up and down at the same time. It's a nightmare. Oh, that's not Ireland. That's the Lourdes church that Timon said, because that's what we're done. I was going to continue with the gardens, but there are so many more pictures. I figured this would take 200 million thousand years, and we don't want that. At least I don't, because I don't want to kill my voice. That would not be cool. So this is the last shot of Blarney Castle looking back as I'm going into the gardens. So that is Blarney Castle, and there's a lot more from Ireland that I've got. Maybe I'll do a poll. Like, what should I do next? But then it always gets awkward when no one actually answers the poll. I guess it does. Except I frankly don't get offended, but you never know. I'm gonna do Chester next. I'll probably do Chester, then another Ireland, then Iceland, then another Ireland, because I've got so many more Irelands than I do the others. Very cool. Why, thank you. Yes, what Timon Flip is saying, Canella. I will anglicize it. You know what? Because you're not as judgmental as the Scandinavians are, or at least a certain Scandinavian. Maybe Luffy's God is nicer about me messing up Norwegian. Canela Rio Grande de Sol. Wait, that's like the soul, like the sun, right? Very cool. Why, yes, it is. Genevieve says, "Thank you for sharing your photos with us. Don't be an imp." Yes, no, I will not. Yet you have some great photos. You do those swans. Gosh, this is bringing back great times, Genevieve. Also, when you would go up into Canada. I won't say any more details unless you want to. But it is public on Twitter. Hey y'all. Well, Magitech Max, you just missed the whole tour, so you'll have to go back and listen to it because I think you really would enjoy. Soul equals South. Oh darn. Shows you how much Portuguese I know. I suck. Everyone saying hello. Soul equals sun. Okay, that's just what it is in Spanish. I just thought it was a Portuguese thing that they spelled it with a U. Yes. No. Oh gosh, I'm just butchering the language. Oh, you're saying no about that, not how I butchered. Well, I'll just for you, I'll go back. Don't get seasick, everyone. I'll do it slowly. I'll find some of the highlights. Look at that. Of course, they didn't pop up on my notifications. I was gonna say a mean word, bastardos, those jerks. Yeah, even when you got the bell going, it just doesn't, but that's okay. But the important thing is that you're here, and I hope you enjoy them. And that's why I share these things. I want people to enjoy. I want to share. Uh, these are things that I love. Look, there's a Blarney Stone. These are things that I love, and maybe you will, and maybe educate you, educate you because there's just so much out there. If you don't travel, travel. Life's too short, especially if you're in a situation like me where you don't have any children. Go for it. My gosh, what are you waiting for? Or if you've gotten rid of the children, empty nest. I raised it till you're 18. Now mommy's going traveling. Yeah. Did I kiss the Bernstein? Yes and no. Verdict is out when I was 7. Certainly did not the last time I was there, or sorry, the last time I tried in um, college. I knew better. I mean, look at that girl. You have to climb backwards and stick your head. Oh, I can't even take it. Can't even take thinking about it. Stick your head out. Uh, Hanging 100 feet, 200 feet above the ground. Yuck. Soul is sun in Norwegian. Oh, well, there we are. You see, there's a lot of connections. There will be a quiz next stream. Do your homework, Teresa. Oh, shoot. Okay, Seoul is south and Seoul is sun. And I know I probably caused all you speakers to cringe. Oh, wait, we've already seen that. Oh, there's another lovely shot. Yeah, this is the inside part of the little balcony area. Yeah, this is where I'm judging them for adding that staircase. There's that's the murder hole right at the beginning. Oh, my fear of heights would definitely kick in. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're backwards over. I mean, I have issues even thinking about it. Now, climbing around some of these things, I actually never minded. I mean, in cliffs too, you'll just be out there. It's like, oh, gee, if I like move to the left, I'll fly off the cliff. I guess you just use your common sense. This is underneath the murder hole. Yeah, that's the notice saying, dudes, you might die and it's your own fault. You'll see those around. Yeah, I wanted to bring this back, some of these shots. Yeah. I'm hoping I'm not making anyone car sick. I'm trying to go backwards at a relative pace. I'm assuming no one's been to Blarney Castle. I know I asked that. And I'm like, well, maybe that's a little bit niche. It's some of those Irish people that sometimes pop in my chat, like Shane and Potato Revan. I'm sure they've been there. Look at that. Look at that. Magnificent. I haven't even gotten to the monasteries or what's left of them. I've got it. I'm bitter. Well, I'm not as bitter as the native Irish. That's that dog, the guard area and the place for the doggy. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. The dungeon. Yeah, that's the outside where those three things were. And that's underneath the garderobe. Just don't stand underneath that outside. It's very sanitary if you're inside. There we are. There's a good shot. Magitech says, I have a book that has pics and information on a ton of Irish castles. Oh, girl. Good girl. Yeah, Care's my second favorite. Check out one. I forget the name of it. It's outside of Turles. It's where that was the one that was owned by the boyfriend of my my bestie that we used to go hang out in. Much, much smaller, very small. Let's see, castles, Turles. It's either I think it's Lockmore Castle. No, not Lockmore. My gosh. Is it Nope, not Bridge Castle. Not Farney Castle. Well, I'll find it some other day. I've got pictures. That'll be for another day. Genevieve, I'm sorry, Magitech says I'll have to send you the pic of the book. Thank you. You know, my mom has some. I've been finding them, but I'll get into that. Have you gone back there last year? Did they change anything? Not last year. The last time I've been to Ireland was 2019 because of stupid COVID. The last time I've been to Blarney Castle was around 2014. Meteor Advocate Timon says the oldest place I've been was at Fort of Santo Antonio de Ratona, 1740. Oh, very nice. Now, of course, Saint Anthony and I'm assuming that is the town. Where the hell is Thurles? What's really cool about that castle, the one I was telling you about, is they have a B&B. So if you ever go to Ireland, go ahead and stay in that B&B. And the lady of the house, if she's still alive, that was a mother of himself. I won't say his name. Just fantastic hostess. And she always would love taking the Americans up, who always wanted to see it. It was, proper castle. It's not Bridge. It's not Lockmore. Let's see. It's on an island. Okay. Liffy's God said, Murder hole is lazy. If they have several fire, murder hole, water murder hole, get creative. But I like the idea. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure it's not the technical word for it. Um, we just call it that. The word is some French word. I said it earlier and I completely butchered it. No, but peeps in my life, they still live around these areas. Yeah, Turles is worth it. I can't message you on Twitter. You can't? I must have blocked you. How dare you? Oh, no, I. Why can't you message me? I know I follow you. I know you follow me. Magic Tech Mags. We follow each other. Hmm. There's no reason why you shouldn't. And I haven't blocked you or anything, so I don't know what's going on. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and wind up this party because we've wound. But as always, I want to thank everyone for being here and for popping in. It's always a very good time. Let's see. I've got a video coming up Wednesday. I might almost be getting ambitious enough to change, not change rather, but start to have a video coming on Friday or Monday. I decided to start off small for my regular videos, but for sure noon it will likely be a Letters of Tolkien one again. I am still working on the Close Encounters of the Third Kind video. It's taking a while because it's very technical about the solfege and what the aliens are doing and how it all works. There's that. Irish fairies, they're coming along. I was going to use a script from an essay I did, but it turned out it wasn't suitable. So that's gonna take me a little bit longer. Hold on, never mind. I think I got it. Okay, how dare you block Max? I did not block her. That's how rumors get started. Yeah. If you watch Tulsa, I was on Nina's yesterday with Nerdrotic on Gary. It was a lot of good stuff. That's a Tulsa King. If you have watched Tulsa King, go ahead and watch it and watch that video. And if you haven't watched Tulsa King, it's worth it. And of course, I have my Wing Song of Shanara random video on Wednesday, and the next video will maybe be another Teresa travels or another educational thing about psychopaths or something to that effect. Okay, figured it out. Pixent, thank you. Let's have a look. Castles in the Celtic lands. All right. Yeah, I'll give it a look. Thank you and take care, everyone. Thank you. Medtech Mags, Jacob Ironside, Zach, Luffy is God, Meteor Advocate Timon, Luffy. Right, I already said Luffy is God. We had Zach's here. We had the Australians, Lady T, Biggles, Gun, JT Gun, America's Ass was here. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain if you're hanging around a castle, don't do anything stupid. Hold on to the guardrail and don't try to jump through a window.